I can say here in this hall that I'm definitely older than most of the people here. I have seen things in this country. I have seen coup d'etats in this country. I have been part of coup d'etats in this country, and I know what I'm talking about. I have spent almost 5 years of my life in prison. The greatest threat to our democracy is the Electoral Commission. That is the greatest threat to our democracy. And if we are not careful, they will lead this country into destruction. Mark my words. Why do I say so? How on earth can transfers be made from one particular constituency to another without the consent of the person? These are facts. During the era of General Kutu Acheampong, may he rest in peace, that was a period that myself and 4 other officers wanted to move him out of power. But whilst we were in James Fort, Usher Fort rather, he was removed by some of our colleagues in the military, headed by General Fred Akufu. Let's get one thing straight. Acheampong had the opportunity. He started well. But as a soldier, he wasn't trained to handle civilians. The moment he wanted to change the khaki into a political suit, that was when the problem started with him. When June 4th happened, most of you might have just read about June 4th. Definitely, most of you here have no idea what happened. When June 4th happened, and 5 generals were slaughtered, where they were picked and killed. Unfortunately, Roger Feli was added to them. And you ask yourself, for what reason? Let me mention the generals who died. General Utuka, Commander Amedome, General Frifa, General Acheampong, General Kote, Air Vice Marshal Yabuachi, and General Akufu. They were tied to the stick and shot. First in our history. Now, all the names I mentioned, we had Greater Accra, that's Kote, Volta region, Amedume, and Utuka. Ashanti region, Afrifa, Acheampong, Yabuachi. Eastern region, General Fred Akufu. No one came from the north. Listen to me carefully. No one came from the north. So Feli was brought down. to correct the equation. That's why Feli died. A nice, handsome man. He was not killed because he has done anything wrong. I want you to get that straight. So when people are fooling, the argument that we have on television and radio now, where a member of a political party will come and just try to defend the indefensible, must be a concern to all of you. Now, before I go on, let me tell you one thing that happened during the era of Achiampong. In those days, most of the electoral commissions were either Supreme Court judges or Appeal Court judges. Achiampong had a Supreme Court judge by the name Justice Aban. Aban was a very strong person. Achiampong thought he could influence him. He couldn't. We had a referendum. I was then in Osha Fort. The referendum was either no or yes. Yes for those who want union government, no for those who like the normal political life to be run. After the elections, the electoral commissioner came out strongly and declared that the no had won. Kutu Achiampong didn't understand it. So he had sent soldiers after the electoral commissioner. The same electoral commission. And the electoral commissioner was a smallish man, I remember. He had to jump a wall. Oh, yes. Justice Aban was assisted to jump a wall, a fence, to save his life. And that was the beginning and the fall of General Kutu Achiampong. It was then that his colleagues realized they have to get him out of power. And that was what brought the Palace School, headed by General F.W.K. Akufo. The reason why I gave you this basics is to let you know what we are in now. When Akufo-Addo was sworn in, his speech was full of speeches that have been made by others, plagiarism. That should have warned all of us that we are dealing with a fake. But none of us challenge him. We clap for him. Not quite long after that, when he sworn in some of his ministers, the Ministry of Trade, there was a scandal there, huge scandal. where there was a millennium something, I don't even know what it was, party or dinner, where those who got or had the opportunity to sit close to the president have to pay monies. That was another signal. It was a great signal of corruption. And indeed, the minister then, Kojo Alan Tremantin, should have resigned if we were to be in a civilized country. Alan Tremantin should have resigned. Alan have had 2 opportunities to leave this corrupt government, but he didn't. That was the first one. The second one was when he joined Akufo-Addo during the second round of his term. The corruption didn't stop. It continued. People were complaining. And the president said nothing. What broke the camel's back was when a minister of state, and for that matter, a cabinet minister or whatever she was seen with physical cash of millions of cedis and dollars. I mean, it is frightening. What did the president say about it? He said, and I'm not going to quote him because I really don't know exactly the quotation. But what I understood was that instead of asking the minister to resign immediately, he rather patted her on the shoulder. The young people here, that's one thing I'll say before I leave. You have to learn the culture of resignation. Because without the culture of resignation, this nation will never move forward. And let me set an example, or give you an example of a young lawyer years ago by name Kwabena Jima Oseibuzo. I was then a student. I wasn't even in the country, I was in Europe. Kwabena Jima was Minister of Information in the military government. That was when Nkrumah was removed. 2 chief editors, one from the Graphic by name Cameron Dodu, the other one from the Ghanaian Times, I can't get the name now, were sacked just like that, without the knowledge of the minister. Now listen to me carefully. So the minister, a young man then, before the Lager, decided to leave the government. So he wrote to government that he can no longer work with them. The general in charge, that is General A.A. Ankra, couldn't believe it. So he invited the minister to his office. I said, did you write this? I said, the minister said, yes. Mind you, he was a young man then. I said, can you explain it to me? I said, I can't be of use to you when my editors can be dismissed without my knowledge. And KG Osebunso has gone down in history as a principled person. And let me tell you this, anyone who has no culture of resignation should not dream of getting close to political power. Thank you.